In this module, we're going to discuss the idea of identifying and understanding cost of quality. Now, it may or may not be well known that most quality costs are hidden below the surface. In fact, studies have shown that as much as 30% of revenues may go to cost of quality. So refer to the iceberg in the image. You notice the majority of it's below the waterline. If we equate that to business, it could translate to as little as only 5% of quality costs being visible, or maybe up to 15% being visible. Again, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Most organizations, if they're tracking quality costs at all, they're tracking the obvious quality costs, like scrap, rework, repair, or rejects, maybe warranty claims, recalls, or customer returns, or possibly inspection and testing costs. Now, your organization's list of quality costs may vary, and while these are important quality costs that we've discussed, there are many, many more. Let's look at the 4 categories. The first being prevention. These are activities intended to prevent poor quality in products and services. This is where we'd like to invest the most of our money toward quality costs. Then there's appraisal costs, activities associated with assuring product or services conform to performance requirements and standards. We don't mind investing money into this quality cost, but prevention would be our prime investment. Then there's internal failures. We don't want to invest money in internal failures. These are activities associated with a product or service that doesn't meet the customer's standards or requirements, but it's prior to delivery, so we caught it in-house. It didn't make it to the customer. External failure costs, where we would least like to spend money. These are activities associated with a product or service not meeting standards or customer requirements, but it got delivered to the customer. The worst cost of all, external failures. The best investment, prevention costs. Let's look at some more examples around these costs, starting with prevention. This could be process planning. In fact, training and education is a prevention cost. Process controls, validations, and audits. Quality function expenses, performance reporting, even marketing research and customer surveys. Those are prevention costs. Appraisal costs can include inspection, evaluation, tests, laboratory and support and equipment, qualification of supplier product or service quality audits, measurement equipment, maintenance and calibration, internal failures. This could even include failure to scale up for demand, poor communication and documentation, uncontrolled material losses, rework, repair, retest, and reinspection. Supplier failure is an internal failure cost. Your customer considers your supply chain to be internal to you. External failure cost. Think in the medical industry, surgical errors or incorrect prescriptions. Those make it to the customer. Customer goodwill or retrofitting costs. Liability costs and penalties. Customer complaints. So what we're going to try to do is to balance out these costs. So again, we want to invest in things like appraisal and prevention. As we invest in appraisal and prevention, the curve goes up. Then the internal and external failures will go down. The more we invest in appraisal and prevention, the less we have to spend on internal and external failures. But there is an optimal quality cost. It's the equilibrium between appraisal and prevention and internal and external failures. The goal is to balance the good quality cost of appraisal and prevention with the wasteful quality cost of internal and external failures, while reducing the overall quality cost. As we typically work to decrease internal and external failures, we will begin to spend more on appraisal and prevention. So we need to carefully select initiatives and projects that will allow us to focus on costs that prevent direct negative impact to our customers. It's paramount that we set our goals to execute initiatives that move the majority of our costs into the category of prevention and reduce or eliminate failures. So if we're operating at optimal quality levels, we may spend less than 5% of our revenues fixing problems, while those operating at average quality level, they could spend up to 30% of their revenue fixing problems. So consider the optimal quality cost. Invest in appraisal and prevention. Eliminate internal and external failures. So don't forget to download your complimentary Excel toolboxes for any of these initiatives containing many templates at valuegenerationpartners.com. Select the downloads page and then select the link to download these templates and toolboxes. So good luck understanding and managing your quality costs to find that optimal equilibrium of cost.